You know what's crazy to me? Is that these Wall Street analysts are expecting something completely different on Tesla's Robotaxi Day, which I do believe that it's going to be the Sell the News event. This is the main reason why I think it's going to be the Sell the News event for Tesla stock on 10/11, the next day, the very next day. Because guys, this is a Robotaxi event. This is a launch of a Robotaxi vehicle. But these analysts are expecting Tesla to announce a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. This is a Robotaxi vehicle. It's really mind-boggling, and it's just insane how they're missing the forest for the trees. They really they care about vehicle deliveries, while the future of Tesla, that's not what that is. This is why I believe Tesla's going to be Sell the News on 10/11, because I don't think Elon's going to come out and say, hey man, yeah, we have a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle that you guys can buy in the next 6 months. That's not going to happen. But that's what Wall Street is expecting. That's what they are expecting. No, it's a Robotaxi event. They're going to be launching the Robotaxi. They may say that we're going to be launching Robotaxi in 6-12 months, but it doesn't mean you can buy it. It's going to be Tesla first. Anyways, let's just dive into this video, because these analysts are not going to be happy on Robotaxi Day. They're not, because this is a product launch for Robotaxi. Let's check out this video by an analyst, a respected analyst who he's a bull. He's a bull. Never mind Gary Black. This guy, he is a bull of Tesla, but he's in the Wall Street. So he has to be, he has to be an analyst. He has to do what other people are doing, but he's a bull. And this is his thoughts. If this is his thoughts, imagine what the others are. Let's take a listen right after you smash that like button, man, and subscribe, because sheesh moment, man. Let's just get down to it.
Let's get more on Tesla's numbers with Deepwater Asset Management's Gene Munster. Gene, good to have you with us. You think another model will be announced?
I do, Melissa. I actually think there'll be 3 models. That cheaper model that we're just talking about, I think that they'll have a robo van. We'll call that something that's way off. And then, of course, the robo taxi. So I'm going to this thinking we'll have 3 models. I do agree with Phil that next week is going to probably be light on details. If you just look at the setup of the event, the number of people that will be there, this is not analysts and investors with their laptops. This is essentially a launch party. And so you can imagine Elon getting up there, talking in kind of very high level and not giving much substance around details. The one detail that I'm going to be hyper focused on is that cheaper $25,000 car when they expect to ramp production.
Right off the bat, he says he expects 3 vehicles. Robotaxi, which we know. Robovan, okay. And then the $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. It could be it could be the same vehicle as a Robotaxi. I know a lot of viewers and comments have been saying that hey, this Robotaxi or this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is going to be the Robotaxi, but with the steering wheel and pedals. But why would Tesla mention it? You know what I mean? The Osborne effect is going to be insane, which I don't think they're going to be saying that, let alone mentioning it. But here's the part that he says, if you guys just listen to what he said that what he is, and majority of the Wall Street analysts are hyper-focused on, it's not the Robotaxi. It's a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. Oh my God. If this was a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle product launch, Tesla would say this is a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle product launch, but they're saying it's a Robotaxi. It's completely different. And the crazy part is that he says that when they expect to ramp production, like, okay, if this was the Robotaxi vehicle, 100%, but they want the $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be on the same platform, this $25K, $30,000 vehicle, 100%, but it's not going to come next year. I could be wrong. Hey, look, I'm just a guy on the internet just going all into Tesla stock, who's in it because of the full self-driving stuff, not because of anything else. I could be wrong. Maybe Tesla will come out and talk about a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. But it'll be stupid for them to do that, because the Osborne effect is going to be big time. And then there's going to be a lot of pressure. And here's the thing. They don't have the amount of facility to make this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle on mass production. Tesla has made it clear that they are going to be ramping to 3 million vehicles, which is a million more than what they are making now. If you guys think the $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is coming out, don't you think this needs its own plant, its own factory? We all thought Giga Mexico was going to be the case, but that thing is on pause now. So it looks like, to me, this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is not going to come out Just yet. Affordable vehicles, yes, 100%, but not $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. I don't think so. Robotaxi, that's separate because I don't think that's going to be sold to the public just yet. Or maybe they will. I don't know. But in my opinion, I don't think they'll do it because Tesla still needs to test their full self-driving. It's still not 100%. They have to start from city to city and go on and forward. It's not ready yet for them to sell actual dedicated robotaxis to customers. Not just yet, in my opinion. Let's keep going with this because you'll see what these analysts are thinking.
And I just want to kind of put one thread through why this is important for next year, is that the street's looking for growth to go from essentially 7% in the most recent quarter to 12% next year. To get to that 12%, you essentially need to have that cheaper model starting a ramp in the middle of the year. If you look at historically, the gap between when they announce a vehicle to when it actually becomes available would suggest it's going to be late in 25 or early 26. And so we could be shaping up for a little bit of an air pocket, still believe we're going to get back to growth, but I think investors should have their their eyes clearly on the timing of this new vehicle because it's going to impact delivery growth next year.
So he's saying that Wall Street is expecting growth to increase from 7% to 12% in deliveries year after year. And to get to that, they need a cheaper model. And here's the crazy part. They're saying that this is going to be starting the $25,000, $30,000 vehicle to be ramping in the middle of 2025. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that's possible. If anything, it's going to be the robotaxi vehicle going to be ramping. That's probably not going to be sold to the public, in my opinion, for at least a year or two. But the expectation of these analysts, waiting and wanting to hear Elon or Tesla to say that this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is going to be ramped mid-2025 or mid-next year and ready to be sold by end of 2025, is just a recipe for the sell the news event. Because I don't think Elon's going to come out and say that. I just don't see him coming out. Guys, this is a robotaxi event. This is an event to show autonomous vehicles driving themselves and what the future is going to look like. Throw in some bots in there as well, stuff like that. This is not a 25,000, 30,000 vehicle launch. It's a robotaxi vehicle launch. That's what it is. I don't know. Maybe it'll be talked about. Maybe not. I'm sure if there's questions in the crowd, maybe someone will ask it, but I don't think it's going to come up. I honestly don't. Comment down below. Do you guys think it's going to come up? I don't know. Maybe they'll talk about it for a bit, but I don't think it's going to be a launch of the $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy part. All these analysts are so focused on this that, again, they're missing the trees for the forest, or the forest for the trees, or whatever that saying goes. It's mind-boggling. They're showing you something that's going to give you a SaaS-like margin, that's going to kick the vehicle delivery sales to the curb. But yet they still want to see this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. I don't know. It's honestly mind-boggling. And this goes with Gary Black as well. Like, he is very heavily, and Gary Black is a Tesla bull. He's in Wall Street analyst, but a Tesla bull. He is eyeing a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. Again, if they say it, cool. I mean, stock's gonna roar for sure because that's the expectation is. And whatever, more models on the road, I guess. And it's a Tesla. I mean, the Model Y is twice the price of of a Toyota Corolla. And this best-selling vehicle in the world, not EV, best-selling vehicle in the world. So if they bring a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle that you can actually buy, well, you already know what's going to happen. But again, they need the plants for that. They need the gigafactories for that. And if their focus is robotaxis, which it is, I don't know, man. I don't think this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is going to be announced. I just don't think so.
So it's baked into revenues, it's baked into profits, it's baked into margins.
And yeah, and you could see if that timing gets slipped. I'm a big believer in Tesla. I think that deliveries growth will ramp into the 20%, but I just think people should have a level head in terms of what 25 looks like.
Now, Gene believes that growth could ramp to 20% if the timing is sooner. 25, again, this comes back to $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. Look, overall, I think once interest rates do come down and there's more affordable vehicles coming from Tesla, and they did say it's coming, more affordable vehicles coming, not specifically 25,000, 30,000 vehicle, but affordable vehicles are coming, then yes, I do think demand is going to increase naturally. 100%. There's no doubt about that because you get interest rates going down. We're entering a era of rates going down, which again is the main thing when it comes to not just housing, but for big capital purchases like cars as well and financing and anything that people take loans, which is backed by interest rates, to purchase. Naturally, I do think this is going to happen, but again, the emphasis is there again. 25,000, 30,000 vehicle. If they don't hear this, here's the thing, guys. If the analysts don't hear this, stock's going to tank.
Gene, it's Tim. So again, around gross margins, 14.6 is the number I see being talked about. What do they have to do to get the street excited that you're not conceding this erosion? And is there any expectation that that could be a surprise?
We're still in the transition period. I think this is an important quarter, the September quarter, because we finally returned to growth after 6 months of declining deliveries. So that's an important part. And I think that lays the groundwork for us to have some improving margins. But as long as they kind of stay stable, I think it will give investors, of course, Tesla investors are notorious for having a long-term view. And if they can keep that stable right around that 14, 15%, and keep some optimism around these products coming out mid to late next year, I think that that's enough. If that margin declines, then of course it's going to be a whole different conversation around the stock.
So this part, I do agree. I think Tesla is now back on the trajectory of growing. 6 to 9 months of deliveries going down. Now that we are getting interest rate cuts, we are entering a better or easier environment, macro environment, getting a whole lot easier and coming down. I do think growth is going to come back again in deliveries. Right? This again, we're talking about, it's crazy to me that we're still talking about deliveries while we see full self-driving on the verge of being completed. It's insane to me. It's absolutely insane. But anyways, I do agree with him that yes, we are on an upward trajectory. He says that keep delivery growth rate around 15% and also keep the products coming out mid next year, which is a $25,000, $30,000 vehicle. This part I'm not too sure, but if it's the other affordable vehicles, which that I do believe, that's probably going to be in the low 30,000s, and it's going to be what Elon said, is going to be a mix of the Model Y and Model 3 with different variations. Sure, yes, we can see that. I can see the growth. I can see demand going back up. But again, the emphasis is still there. $25,000, $30,000 vehicle, which I don't think is going to happen. And he says if margins keep going down, then it's a different story. But I highly doubt margins will go down if they continue to produce, if they continue to bring down prices. Yeah, while COGS is not going down per vehicle, 100%, that's going to be a different story. But we see energy coming. Eventually, full self-driving is coming. Here's the thing. Tesla delivered over almost 463,000 vehicles in Q3. How many of that do you think is converted to FSD, which is $100 a month, which is practically free money for Tesla? That's what we should be focused on. That is what we should, the software margin. That is what's going to get Tesla to trillions, not flipping vehicle deliveries, man. Tesla ain't a car company. It ain't a car company. And I wrote it on X too, man. If you guys aren't following me on X, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I wrote it on X. A lot of analysts are looking for one thing and one thing on Robotaxi event, and it's not even the Robotaxi, which is absolutely hilarious because that's true. It's the 25,000, 30,000 vehicle. It's just sad to see this. But anyways, this is why I believe it will be a sell the news event, because Tesla is going to showcase the Robotaxi, bots, and other autonomous things that matter in the future. Deliveries are going to be a rounding error in a decade time because of the Robotaxi and all full self-driving, all that kind of stuff. Maybe the bots as well. While Tesla focuses on the future, Wall Street analysts are still focused on a vehicle. It sounds ridiculous, but this is where we are. And this is, again, heavily, I believe, it's going to be sell the news event. That's why I'm not rushing to buy. If the stock goes down a bit more, yeah, I did buy a couple yesterday, but it has to be a killer event. And again, they have to mention a 25,000, 30,000 vehicle, which I don't think they will. I honestly don't think that they will. I don't know. Let's see what happens that day. But all I know is it's going to be a historic day. And it's going to be a day where, we're going to look back in 5-10 years and go like, wow, this was just a concept and now we're seeing it everywhere, which is the robotaxis and autonomous cars and stuff like that. But analysts, please don't expect this $25,000, $30,000 vehicle to be, announced. If they announce it, okay, cool. I guess it's a win-win, but don't expect it. It's a robotaxi event. It's not a $25,000, $30,000. It's not. They're not launching an affordable vehicle. They're not. And even if they do, they need more capacity because the amount of orders that's going to flow in for this, it's going to be flippin' insane. So that's my thoughts. Comment down below. What is your thoughts on this? But that's what I think is going to happen on 10/11, the day after Robotaxi. That's what I think. In my humble opinion, I could be wrong. So take everything with a grain of salt. Now, a lot of you guys thought that Q3 deliveries were bad, but think again. It's actually, when you look at it, it was a record and other juicy stuff here. So check it out. Y'all won't be disappointed. Subscribe, guys. Get your About the Tip t-shirt, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.